Who else is excited for the final season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. today? Today. I cannot believe it. It's today. Alright, anyway, so today's video is, one of today's video, before I get into it, I'm gonna say this real quick. I needed a break last week, so I didn't post. So today you're getting two videos, this one and a Hogwarts Mystery playthrough. Also, sorry if the audio isn't working correctly. For some reason, Adobe Spark wouldn't let me do this on my laptop, so I had to do it on my phone. Alright, anyway, so today we are, or I am, I guess, breaking down the time travel sneak peek of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was released on YouTube on May 19th, 2020. The opening to this time travel sneak peek starts with Daisy saying pretty much now she knows how Deke feels going back in time. Now they're in the 1930s New York, so yeah, I forgot to say that. They're in 1930s New York, and Daisy is telling Deke, like, I know how you feel, and all the sights and sounds, stuff like that. And yeah, that's how they open. That's how this opens. What I gather from the first part of this, just like trailer, I guess you could call it, is that their time travel it sends them back in time, and colors change a little bit. It's darker than it should be. It's just like it's darker. Meaning this might be like a coming dark scene, or that's just how the 1930s are in this scene, in this show. After this little comment, Deke's like, well, all this, all the people like searching for food and stuff, that's more speed because of, well, when he was in the future. Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking this might. I'm not sure what I'm thinking right now. Immediately after that, Daisy compliments Deke on getting the 1930s clothes that they're apparently wearing for the 1930s. Deke's like, well, they were only $13. And Ellen D. Coulson was, it's the Great Depression. I love this part. Well, it's the Great Depression, and then he reminds them of all the other stuff that hasn't happened yet, and they go into some science stuff, which I will cover in a minute. But hold on, first, from this spot. From this spot. So they're discussing all this time and how they know the future is definitely dangerous, I'm gonna assume. This could throw history off track if they could throw a history off track, not necessarily their history. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm trying to figure out how to make a prediction through this little time travel sneak peek, but I'm just looking through, and things are a little different. Things are different than they normally are in here. Again, it's super dark, super gray. I'm not sure why. And after this, they discuss how different they are because they're from the future, and like Daisy, like, what if they saw my powers? And Ellen D. Coulson, of course, has to make a joke. It kind of like, what if they saw his gears? Do you think he has gears? I mean, that's something from both from the sneak peek and here right now. I'm gonna ask you in the comments: do you think Ellen D. Coulson has gears? Yeah. So then they, for a little bit, they discuss how. Yeah, they just discuss stuff like that just for a few seconds, and then they start discussing science-y, time travel-y stuff. I guess. Anyway, so they time travel stuff, which I will cover in a minute, because I am actually rewatching this sneak peek as I'm making this video, so it's more accurate. this time travel-y, sciencey stuff. So this is the idea of the butterfly effect and the multiverse theory and the time stream theory, stuff like that. So Daisy's like, okay, well, we could be the butterfly effect, whatever. And Deke's like, okay, well, that's part of the multiverse theory. I'm sorry. And then he says that he really believes in the time stream theory, which is the idea of it's the idea that time is like a stream where there are all a bunch of sticks in it. You throw them in, and the water's just gonna like move around them, and eventually it's gonna end up in the same place. Which makes me wonder something about where Deke comes from. If time's always gonna end up in the same place, does that mean that the agents really didn't stop Deke's future from happening? Or the future Deke comes from happening, they just delayed it? There's something to think about. That's something that I've been dying to say. That's just awesome. I love it. I love that idea. And okay. Anyway, so Deke believes in the time stream theory, but of course in the MCU, the multiverse branch theory is confirmed in Endgame, but that's like 3 years before or after this. Well, 3 to 90, depending on how you look at it, because they kind of go back in time, like 2019, and then they're in the 1930s. So, yeah. Anyway, Deke explains that, and they're like, okay. So, when Deke is explaining it, Mac's like, well, or no. Sorry, I already finished it. The sneak peek. Daisy or Mac, actually. I can't remember which one. But one of them said, like, let me guess, it's where you're allowed to do anything you want. And that's when Deke explains what it is. And he's like, okay, so we can do a little bit of poking around and stuff. And I think... And he explains about, like, how beavers make... Or, like, how there's a dam. If you make a dam by throwing too many sticks in the river of time, it's going to change the course of the water forever. And that is bad, because time gets off track. So that's what they're trying to prevent from happening, is my guess. They're trying to prevent the dam from forming in the past to where history is going to get thrown off track. But I still don't know why they have to go back in time. I know the Chronicoms took over the lighthouse in the present. Time is weird. Anyway, so why would they have to go back in time is the real question. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Of course, this is probably going to be answered in about, what time is it right now? 6 hours, not even 6 hours, like 5.5 hours. But if you see this in the first 5.5 hours, it was released, or I'm making this actually because it's going to be released in a little bit. Comment down below what you think. Wait for it to show this. And so then the end of this sneak peek is really kind of funny, because it's like Mac's like, okay, I see what this is. And you know how Deke steals all of S.H.I.E.L.D's tech and stuff? Well, he's like, you're not going to be filing any patents. So I think that part's just hilarious. And Deke says that he's going to tread ever so lightly. So then in true Deke fashion, of course, he immediately literally runs into another. And that person is, of course, a 1930s regular, I guess you could call them, if they live in the 1930s. Yep. And then Ellen D. Coulson says that it's the first time in the big city as an excuse. And then immediately, and then right after that, it ends with an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. title card, which I can only assume is the title card for Season 7. I couldn't find any pictures of it right now, so you should probably go watch the actual trailer thingy, which I will leave a link to it in the description. But the actual title card-ish thingy, it looks a little bit like the picture I'm showing right now. Just zoom super close up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on it. And super excited for this to start in a few hours. Just a few hours, wow. I cannot wait. Alright, so you guys should just leave your comments in the description. Sorry, that was weird. Leave your predictions in the comments for this final season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And, yeah. So, there you have it. Video is just about over. And you know what? I think I'm going to start doing my outro on a regular slide instead of during the credits. So, you can watch another video by clicking on the top right, top left, and bottom left corner of the screen. And subscribe to my channel by clicking the bottom right corner. So, until next time, good.